Hey guys, Mustang here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we have yet another no item run done on the Extreme Super Battle Road stages. Today we are doing Super TEQ versus Extreme AGL. So this one is incredibly difficult, especially with this team build. I have seen a screenshot or two already, and I can tell you that not having the 50% support TN makes this an absolute nightmare. But obviously, you know, of course, we got it done. And yeah, we can see how it plays out here. So LR Hercule is an interesting choice. Obviously, he came out, his EZA came out at the right time for him to be already a good option with Extreme Super Battle Road coming to Global. And he fits well on this team because he is on the Saviors category. So we are running double Gohan leads. I do believe it's probably not possible without the Gohan team, at least from the experimenting that I did beforehand. But yeah, so double Gohan leads. As you can see, we got a lot of units on the team that take quite a bit of damage. We see Oob there taking about 60k from normal attacks. Now, my LR Oob is Rainbow. He does have some skill orbs on him as well. But then you see one of the, definitely the wild card of the team. Not going to be doing any damage, never super attacking, but there he is in the middle, the Galactic Patrolman himself, Jacko. So of course, the first time he comes into the rotation, he stuns everybody on the enemy team automatically, and this gives us a really good base to build from, as long as we can get that first turn with him early on in the fight. Like if we get it first turn, it works out really well, because Gohan obviously needs to super as many times as possible to build up his defense so that he doesn't take massive damage. Because as amazing as he is, and you know, people are still having the debate whether he can be considered the best unit in the game, on Extreme Super Battle Road, before supering, which we will see at some point in this run, like if we have to put him in slot 1 and there's attacks before he gets to super, he still takes about 50k, because Extreme Super Battle Road is very damage intensive. And even his ability to guard doesn't do a huge amount when we're already fighting against AGL. So we really need to get that first super attack off, and then you can really see the difference in the amount of damage that he takes. So that's why the 50% support TN is so good, because 50% is basically how much he increases his attack and defense every time he super attacks the Gohan. So as long as TN's on rotation, it's like he's already super attacked. So any of those attacks in the first slot are going to do a little bit less damage to you. And then of course, everybody else on the rotation hits harder and defends better overall. So TN, I think, probably rated the highest among the 50% leaders. Like some of them really not useful on the no item runs, and then some of them really are, like the physical super boo as well. So we see Hercule there coming in clutch with that 33% chance to dodge built into his passive. There's a couple of interesting ways you can use him in Super Battle Road, and we do both of them during this run. Obviously, he has the chance to dodge. If you get his 18 key super, he does raise his defense. So if we think we're going to be taking a bunch of hits, maybe from different enemies, we can go for the 18 key. And then on his 12 key super, he has a chance to stun, as well as he lowers the enemy's attack. So if we're only being hit by one person, maybe once on the Hercule, we can take the risk to go for the stun. And even if it doesn't go off, we do lower their attack, which obviously all comes in handy when it comes down to the main linchpin of the team, which is putting Gohan in front of as many attacks as possible. So if we can get attack lowering applied on the majority of the enemies, then obviously it just helps him to tank even better. And you can see at this point, once we've gotten a couple of supers off with him, he just takes double-digit damage from normal attacks. So the strategy, as you can tell from the way the run has been going so far, is Super TEQ has a lot of units that will just take more damage than is really, I say acceptable. I mean, obviously we got the run done, but it's not the kind of levels of damage that you want to be taking in a run where you can't use items. So the main way we obviously circumvent that is by having the Kid Gohan on Icarus, and then of course the LR Oob. Both of them heal when we drop below a certain threshold of HP. So Kid Gohan on Icarus, once we drop below 30%, he gives us a full heal. Plus he gets a massive attack buff as well. So you'll see during this run, on any turns where he attacks on the same turn that he's healed, he actually gets quite a high attack stat, close up to like 2 million, I think. And then, of course, he does have a chance to stun on his super as well. And then Oob, if we're below 40% HP, he transforms. He doesn't give us a full heal, but he transforms. He's then going to change orbs to Rainbow. Very easy to get super attack with him, and he greatly lowers attack on his 18 key super. He's still not the best when it comes to tanking, so we do have to be very careful with where we put Oob in terms of the rotations. Obviously, I'm not sure if it happens in this run, because trust me, this stage took me many attempts with this team. Like the number of times I got to the last fight and then got super attacked like 3 times in the first turn was pretty unreal. I do feel like for these super versions of the stages, there are 2 ways that you know you're going to be in for a much easier no items run. And that is that if the second fight is not the Ginyu Force, because the Ginyu Force is probably the worst fight to get as your second one. And then for the last fight to be Boo and Barbady, because even though they both have a lot more health, because there's only 2 of them, there's only 2 of them. So if you're bringing a team that can stun and attack lower quite a lot across the board, then obviously you have a way to sort of keep them locked down a little bit, and you don't have to worry about 5 different units that could all super attack you. So obviously for this run, we got unlucky and we did have the Ginyu Force as the second fight. And honestly, when I was going through some of the runs where I could only find like 55% friend Gohans, when the stage loaded in, if we had the Ginyu Force as the second fight and then like Cell and the Cell Juniors as the last fight, I was just quitting out and starting again, because you got to have at least one of those things go your way. And if you have both of them, like I said, the number of times you either start the Ginyu Force fight or you start the Cell and the Cell Juniors fight, and you just get like 2 or 3 super attacks in turn 1. And until some of our defense has been built up, like even if, say, both the supers are on Gohan and he doesn't die, it puts you on such low health that the rest of the units on the turn are unable to survive the rotation. So essentially in almost any situation, unless we have like Icarus Kid Gohan ready to go on the next rotation and there's no other attacks like after the first slot, if we take 2 supers, it's probably GG. I don't know if it happens at all in this run that we do just about survive, but yeah, it's unfortunately where the attacks are spread over the rest of the turn that makes it so difficult, because so many of the units on this team just take so much damage. So we got the Go Bros. We haven't talked about them yet. They are Rainbow for me. As you can see, I mean, they're considered a very high tier unit, but even Rainbow on this team with a solid leader skill, they're still taking 50k from normal attacks after they had already attacked a couple of times there. So obviously they need to attack multiple times in order to build their defense up to its maximum. But yeah, you can see they still take quite a lot of damage. They don't link super well with many other units on the team, because obviously Gohan is kind of renowned for not having the best links. The only good thing about them, well, I say the only thing, but one very useful thing with them when it comes to the links is because they have such a high chance to do the second and third attack. Sometimes if you can't get them enough key to super, like just off the bat from the orbs, it's not that bad, because they'll normal attack from that and then potentially go into the additional super, so they can still do quite a bit of extra damage. So you see Ginyu there hitting Goku with Gohan with a super attack. We take quite a bit of damage. Fortunately, Icarus Kid Gohan comes through with the stun on him, because obviously Ginyu is the one who attacks the most throughout the turn. And then yeah, we hit Guldo with the attack lowering there from Hercule, and then go straight into the Oob into Marjube transformation. And then this is the first rotation that we're able to put these guys together. And then I'm trying to keep Jacko around, because I feel like we're going to finish this fight really soon. And obviously what you really don't want to do is, if you finish the fight with Jacko in the 3rd slot, it means when you go into the next round, you don't get him until turn 3. And he just helps early on, helps so much that you just don't want to be getting him 3 turns in. Because, like I said, you get a free turn to super attack with Gohan and stack with him. Another thing that works really well if it's like the turn 1 Jacko turn is having the Icarus Kid Gohan on rotation as well, because you can get him to target the enemy who's probably going to be the most annoying, to see if he can get his 2-turn stun to go off from his super attack, because then obviously when you move into the next round, that person is still stunned, and it gives you a little bit more leeway in terms of where you can put your Gohan, where you can put Oob. Like, the problem is, like I said, is I can break the rotation if I need to, because like there are certain, after doing this so many times, there are many situations now where I can look at it and just be like, okay, I don't survive this turn unless I move this guy out of the way. And you'll see the best example of that comes right at the very end, when we are right at like the finishing line is in sight, and had to make a very tough decision right at the end. So we're going to see that coming up very soon. So I decided to transform Gohan here because I want to put out as much extra damage as I can. And of course, Ginyu in slot 1. We all know what Super Battle Road is like. This Ginyu could quite easily super attack me in slot 1 on his way out. So I decided to target Raccoon because I want to get this done this turn, because I noticed that the Dokkan gauge is almost full. So if I target Raccoon and then target him with the Icarus Gohan as well, between the two of them they can hopefully take him out. And then of course the Go Bros, potentially with multiple attacks, can finish off Ginyu and then transfer any more of that remaining damage over to Raccoon. But as you can see, Gohan just comes in and does a ridiculous amount of damage here. So yeah, Icarus Gohan gets a crit, finishes him off, and then the Go Bros able to crits everywhere in that last turn. So sheer amount of damage, forcing out the Ginyu Force. And as you can see, we timed that super well with the heals from our units. We are basically on full HP going into fight number 3 against Turles and the Crusher Core, the newest LR in Dokkan. And we get Jacko turn 1. So Jacko turn 1 with the Dokkan attack basically ready to go. I was trying to work out where the 5 orbs were. I didn't spot the red ones at the side until just then, so switch them back, put Gohan straight into slot 1. And then I'm trying to see if there's any way I can drop any of the greens down to guarantee the Dokkan attack, because I was starting to worry that we weren't actually going to get the Dokkan attack here, because that would be really bad. I hadn't really tactically targeted who I was, selecting to attack with Gohan or Hercule, because I could have gone for a specific target. But yeah, we get the Dokkan attack. Now, unfortunately, the only downside is, whilst we have no risk of getting attacked before the Dokkan attack goes off because of Jacko, it does mean Gohan doesn't get hit. So he doesn't get that buff to his attack from his passive. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't one-shot like everybody. Yeah, literally everybody survives with small amount of health. So I was a little bit worried there, but then we go into the additional super. We don't quite take out Turles, but it's a double super from Gohan, so that means 2 raises for his defense, and then Hercule comes in and finishes off Turles. So that's really good, because Turles attacks the most. I think the mullet guy attacks twice per turn as well. But so everybody's nearly dead. The only way this goes really bad here is if the robot guy super attacks Gohan in slot 1. But the mullet guy, both of his attacks are after Gohan, so he can finish him off fairly easily. And then I want to try and finish off the ballsack guy here with Gohan, because Gohan doesn't hit the hardest when he doesn't have that full passive buff, but the ballsack guy has the lowest health, and his health is very, very low. So robot guy doesn't super, but as you can see, I mean, that still does 46k to Gohan before he's managed to get a super attack off. But he comes through with the crit, gets an additional. I'm hoping that is going to assist Oob in finishing off. Is it Amond here? So Gohan finishes you off. Do we take out this guy with Oob? Oob is obviously not the hardest hitting unit, but yeah, he still did almost a million. Takes him out, and then, oh, there you go. He heard me. He got the additional super attack, and takes out the robot guy too. So yeah, there you go. Not quite in the one turn, but worked out well, because now we also have Jacko ready to go on turn 1. So we're against Boo and Barbady. Like I said, I do think it's one of the easier matchups for this team, because we have the ability to stun with a couple of units. We have some attack lowering. So I feel like it just works out best in the long run. So just trying to make sure we can get supers with both of these guys here, because as you can see, like as I was saying earlier, the Go Bros don't link super well with Gohan for Ki. And then, yeah, we'll grab that. Now we've got two nice big selections of orbs there ready for the units on next rotation as well. So we're hoping for multiple super attacks here from the Go Bros. Unfortunately, we don't get them. At least they got a crit on the normal attack, I suppose. And then Gohan coming in, delivering the first attack to Barbady as well. So we've done, what, nearly half of his HP already on the first turn. So very good. But this is another one of those situations where I was getting concerned, because we got, what, 4 attacks in slot 1. So Gohan's got to take a couple of attacks here without getting his defense raised. Then we've got Icarus Gohan in slot 2. Now in slot 1 and slot 2, although the numbers differ, he has a increased chance to dodge. It's higher in slot 1, not as high in slot 2, and then mine does have quite a bit of dodge already anyway. So the plan is aim for Fat Boo for the stun, hopefully be able to stun him, and then the one attack that follows up from Barbady, because he probably is going to survive this attack from Gohan, even though his passive is not going to be active here. Hopefully the Icarus Gohan can dodge it. So nice bit of damage. Unfortunately, no additional. But, I mean, you can still see, like, after one super, he's still taking 20k. I believe the friend was either 2 dupes or less. I definitely did it enough times that I wasn't finding, like, rainbow ones anymore, because I only have, like, 2 or 3 on my friends list. So, obviously, those get used up pretty quickly. But we didn't dodge the Barbady attack. 68k on the Gohan. But we're able to lower Barbady's attack. We lost enough health to then go straight into the Oob transformation, but our health wasn't crazy low, so he does heal us up to a sort of a reasonable amount, 60%. We've obviously still got that Icarus Gohan heal that we can fall back on, and Fat Boo is stunned, so Gohan is going to take out Barbady 100% guaranteed. I mean, he's not getting the attack raise this turn because he's not getting hit, but he has already supered a couple of times. And the great thing about that is with Barbady getting taken out, Oob can attack Fat Boo and apply some attack lowering to him, because he's going to be unstunned next turn. And just to make 100% sure, I retargeted to Barbady with the Go Bros, just in case, because, you know, even if he survived on the tiniest sliver of health, they'd be able to finish him off, and then they get additional attacks anyway that could have transferred extra damage over to Boo. But we take him out, and then we get... Do we get an additional super here? No, the Go Bros letting me down a little bit with their additionals. But, I mean, damage is extra damage. And, yeah, this is where the big conundrum came in. Because the friend Gohan has super attacked, I think once, maybe twice at this point. So his defense is okay, and Fat Boo's been attack lowered. Now, if Fat Boo super attacks in slot 1, we take quite a bit of damage anyway. So, I guess that's the one thing. And now, what I've got to worry about is Jacko, now that he can't stun, Jacko takes like 100k from normal attacks. So I have 2 choices here. I either put Icarus Gohan in slot 2 and hope for the chance to stun, which I believe is 30%. Because if he stuns Fat Boo, then obviously I don't have to worry about it. And then Jacko is off rotation, so he's not going to come back for a couple more turns. Or I put Jacko in the middle, eat the 100k damage, and then if Kid Gohan doesn't stun in slot 3, then he still takes quite a bit of damage, but he doesn't take as much as Jacko. Although I guess thinking about it now, when you add up all of the numbers that they're going to take, if he doesn't stun in slot 3, I think we probably die anyway. So either way, we die, whether it's in slot 2 or 3. And yeah, so I was thinking, I was kind of erring on the side of playing cautious. I wasn't really sure what to do. But funnily enough, Mrs. Ningen was watching me do this run. So I asked her to make the final call. And she said go for the risk with the 30% chance to stun from Icarus Gohan. Because obviously remember, Jacko as like a SR that awakens to an SSR. He has no hidden potential or anything like that, right? So he's got 0% chance to dodge. So basically, if Icarus Gohan doesn't stun here, we absolutely just die. Now, obviously, you guys are watching the video, so you know we don't die. So I'm pretty sure you can guess what Icarus Kid Gohan is going to do. So obviously, great call from Mrs. Ningen. I mean, every king needs his queen, right? So there you go. Kid Gohan comes in, boom, stun. Fat Boo. Now we got a free turn that Fat Boo can't do anything to us. And we have double attack lowering units if we only get the 12 key super with Hercule. So at this point I need to just go guns blazing, do as much damage as I can to get rid of Boo as quickly as possible. So of course we're going to go ahead and transform Gohan again and see that ultimate form one more time. Now of course he's not going to get hit, so he doesn't get that extra passive raise, but his attack goes up overall anyway. The amount of attack he gives himself as part of his passive is increased with his transformation anyway, so he's able to hit a lot harder here. And then I decided to go, rather than go the attack lowering route, I just went the full 18 key super route with Hercule, because obviously I really want to, if possible in this turn, just do as much damage to finish him off completely. Plus, I mean, Oob's 18 key supering, which is massively lowers attack, so he is hitting a pretty solid debuff on him. And then Hercule comes in 1.8 million for him with the 18 key super. And how much does this do? 1.4 million on a crit. So he just survives. Look at his health. So again, this is another like tight moment here, because we're going to transform Gohan. Now, if Boo super attacks in slot 1, we definitely have the potential to die. I'm trying to think. He's been attack lowered so many times. Gohan's defense is quite high. We've already seen that normal attacks really are only going to do maybe 10k at the most at this point to this Gohan. So I guess, to be fair, actually, thinking about it now, watching it back, if he did super attack and did like 200k, the normal attack would then do like 10k most, and we would be fine. And because our defense is so high, I don't think a super from him at this point would do any more than like 200k anyway. But to fully seal the deal, he doesn't super attack, so Gohan's full passive is triggered. 3.73 million attack stat for Ultimate Gohan. And there we go. Throw Fat Boo down into the ground. One final blast for 2 million damage. And that is him taken out. And we get it done. So hit that star. And there you go. That is the Super TEQ versus Extreme AGL stage of Extreme Super Battle Road, beaten with no items used. No TN on the team, which I haven't seen anyone do yet. It made it so much harder. It's actually insane. Those units definitely need to come back more often, because I feel like so many people don't have them, and they're so useful for some of these runs. But there you go. So, I mean, you're in the home of the Super Battle Road King. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the link to my Discord, feel free to join in down there, and I will see you guys again soon. Have a good one.